Devaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Shaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityaṁ bhāgavata-sevayā. Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Aradhayo Bhagavan Vrajeshatanayas Dhama Vrindavanam. Ramya Kachitupasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Va Kalpita. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam pramanamamalam prema pumartho mahan. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu matamidam tatradharana para. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear worshipable devotees, thank you so much for taking out your valuable time to join this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam reading. Today we are reading Canto 10, chapter 20, from text number 19 onwards. The title of this chapter is The Rainy Season in the Autumn in Vrindavan. And as we have discussed in the last few days, that nature, rivers, trees, flora, fauna, everyone loves that. Everyone wants to spend time with nature. But the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is talking about this, not only just the mountains and the trees and the rivers, but also the beautiful lessons we can learn. And there are 48 special metaphors in this. I mean, some of 48 special verses, and in some of the verses there are even like 2 or 3. And so many countless lessons Shukdev Goswami is giving us from these verses, just and in such a picturesque way, describing about the autumn and this rainy season in Vrindavan. So we are thinking of Vrindavan. We are having this beautiful paintings in our mind. At the same time, we are learning so many deep, wonderful lessons for our spiritual life. Wow, this is the expertise of an expert acharya, expert devotee like Shukdev Goswami and Srila Prabhupada and his disciples, who are giving us these treasures. So with that, let's continue with the next verse, text number 19, chapter 20. Nararajo dupaschanaha swajotsna rajitarghanai aham matya bhashitaya swabhasha purusho yatha. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, Abhay Charana Aravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. During the rainy season, the moon was prevented from appearing directly by the covering of the clouds, which were themselves illuminated by the moon's rays. Similarly, the living being in material existence is prevented from appearing directly by the covering of the false ego, which is itself illumined by the consciousness of the pure soul. Purport: the analogy given here is excellent. During the rainy season, we cannot see the moon in the sky. Because the moon is covered by the clouds, these clouds, however, are radiant with the glow of moon's own rays. Similarly, in our conditioned material existence, we cannot directly perceive the soul because our consciousness is covered by the false ego, which is the false identification with the material world and material body, Yet it is the soul's own consciousness that illuminates the false ego. As the Gita describes, the energy of the soul is consciousness. And when the consciousness manifests through the screen of false ego, it appears dull, material consciousness, in which there is no direct vision of the soul or God. In the material world, even great philosophers ultimately resort to hazy ambiguities when speaking about the absolute truth. Just as the cloudy sky manifests only dull and indirect way, the iridescent light of the moon. In the material life, our false ego is often enthusiastic, hopeful, and apparently aware of various material affairs. And such consciousness encourages us to push on in material existence. But in truth, we are merely experiencing the dull reflection of our original, pure consciousness, which is Krishna consciousness, direct perception of the soul and God, not realizing that the false ego merely hampers and dulls our real spiritual consciousness, which is fully enlightened and blissful, and we mistakenly think that material consciousness is full of knowledge and happiness. This is comparable to thinking that the luminous clouds are lighting up the night sky, while in fact it is the moonshine that illuminates the sky, and the clouds that merely dull and hamper the moonshine. The clouds appear luminous because they are filtering and impeding the brilliant rays of the moon. Similarly, at times, material consciousness appears pleasurable or enlightened because it is screening or filtering the original, blissful, enlightened consciousness coming directly from the soul. If we understand the ingenious analogy given in this verse, we can easily advance in Krishna consciousness. Wow. It was wonderful and quite deep. So, here, the clouds are covering the moon and the moon's brilliance. The moon is analogous to the pure consciousness, the pure spirit soul, and the covering is basically the material consciousness, or the different coverings. We have read that in the previous chapters also, in the previous verses, sorry. That the false ego is the covering, which covers the pure consciousness, or the pure spirit soul. And as soon as the false ego is removed, we are able to rekindle, we are able to reawaken pure consciousness. And we have discussed this in the last verse also, same thing, about the road, which is covered with the trees and the bushes and stuff. And when does it happen? When we do not walk on that road, right? That means, in this case, when we do not study scriptures, when we do not regularly perform the process of bhakti, then we are covered by the false ego. The processes of bhakti help us to uncover. We discussed this in earlier also. The initiation is the process of unmasking. So we are unveiling the true nature of the spirit soul, and that is eternal bliss and knowledge. When it is covered, it only appears very insignificant. The pleasures also appear very insignificant, but somehow we mistake them for thinking these are real. So, any other thoughts, comments anyone has in this text? Any additions? Anyone wants to?
Clarity. I want little clarity here. We are talking about material consciousness, and we are talking about Krishna consciousness repeatedly in every verse. So to differentiate for myself, is it material consciousness is what we think about, and the thoughts, the beliefs, and the feelings that we have about the materialistic world is what material consciousness. And when we move to Krishna consciousness is what we are thinking, feeling, and believing about Krishna. Is it what the difference between the two?
Yeah, I'll share some examples which will help us to maybe understand better. Material consciousness is that I'm the body and things in connection to body are mine. Could be my house, could be my car. I'm the Lord, I'm the master. That and I have this much now, tomorrow I'll have this much. These are all the qualities. Like I'm the Lord, I'm the master, people should serve me. And I have my plans to be happy. If I get this job, I'll be more happy. If I get this house, I'll be more happy. So basically, I'm the Lord, I'm the master. Aham mameti. This is me, this is mine, this is my property, my bank balance, my this, my that. And if it grows more, I'll be more happy. I'm happy I have this much. I'll be more happy if I have that much. This is all thinking that this is the impure consciousness. Right? We are thinking in relation to I, me, and mine. Ravana mentality, Dhritarashtra mentality. Ravana had thousands of queens, but he still wanted Sita. Not happy with what one has and always craving for more. Lust, greed. Dhritarashtra had so much, the Duryodhana and party, Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana. Pandavas said, just give us five villages. I mean, they deserved the whole world, but they said, just give us 5 villages, we'll be happy. You take care of the whole world. Just 5 tiny villages. But the material consciousness in Duryodhana did not allow him to even part with 5 villages. I mean, to the true deserver of the kingdom. This is material consciousness. Not happy with what one has, not grateful. There's no room for bhakti in one's life. There's no room to understanding what is true happiness. And because of the false covering, we think this is real happiness. This is material consciousness. Krishna consciousness does not mean we give up job, does not mean we do not save for a bad day. It is not. But the whole point is that I am the eternal servant of God. And my role is to always remember that. I will do my work, remembering that. I'll take care of my children, remembering that. Yes, I will go to work. I will also, have a house, whether it's rented or owned, or that's a separate story. But I mean, devotees also have home. Devotees also have car. Devotees also have bank balance. Devotees also go to work or job or business. But the point is that we are gradually trying to go from material consciousness to Krishna conscious. From artificial, temporary happiness to real, eternal bliss.
Shall I take it as when I'm separating myself from Krishna, then that's material consciousness? When I'm thinking that I'm part of Krishna, that I'm part of Krishna, that's the Krishna consciousness. Am I getting it right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Krishna bhuli sai jevanadir bahirmukh, atev maya tare de samsara dukh. When we forget Krishna, so either there's only two things, Krishna conscious, Maya conscious. If you're forgetting Krishna, then we are in the material world. If one is always remembering Krishna, one is in spiritual world, even in this world. It's and it's not like an overnight process. It's not that, okay, from today onwards, material consciousness button off, Krishna consciousness button on. It doesn't work like that. Because from time immemorial, such deep, thick layer has covered, the thick layer of clouds, the thick layer of material gunas, modes, the thick string of those modes is binding us. So even if we try, it is not something like, overnight we'll be able to I mean, few rare souls maybe, but I'm not in that. Like the example given is, as we were discussing yesterday. I'll share the screen since you are like whiteboard. So I'll pull an image of Titanic. Okay, so imagine a big ship. A big ship is going okay, so this is a big ship, which is, let's say, moving in this direction. And this is wrong direction, let's say. Wrong goals, material consciousness, right? Suddenly, we realize at some point after we were kind of in good speed and good momentum, this ship is huge. We realize that, oh no, I'm not getting true happiness. I get some artificial momentarily pleasures, but I do not get true happiness which my soul is longing for. And suddenly, by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, we realize, so let's say Guru, Krishna, Guru Parampara, GPS, Guru Parampara system. They tell us, Guru Sadhu Shastra, oh, you have taken a wrong turn. You will not get to real thing. What is the real destination we're all looking for? Satchidananda, eternal happiness, eternal joy, eternal peace. And if you keep going here, you won't get there. Then the GPS tells, oh, the real goal is, it's totally opposite. Krishna consciousness. Okay, I'll just write KC. Now, can this ship just suddenly take a U-turn? No, it will keep going, and gradually make a big circle. Make a huge, like, what do you call, like, radius curvature, right? Because it's so huge. It will take miles for the ship to turn, right? And make a 180-degree turn. And gradually it will keep going in the right direction. So what happens if you just explaining this in maybe one more way, right? This is the time scale, right? And this is our consciousness scale. So right now, this is the consciousness scale, and this is the time scale. Before we come to Krishna consciousness, okay, so that's the point. We are, we have spent so much time. This is like the material, the red is the material consciousness, right? And this is the point we start our Krishna consciousness. Okay, we are starting. So gradually we will realize, oh, that, and gradually the material layer, material coverings will go down, right? And what will happen? The good layers. So when we come to the path of bhakti, we realize, oh, what is the true stuff? What is true Krishna consciousness? What is the goal of life? Who is God? Why is he God? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed not to do? How will I achieve true happiness? All those things come. So you see, here we are maybe like 0% Krishna conscious and 100% Krishna conscious, right? And on the other side, we are 100% material consciousness, the red is the material, and then 0%, that's our goal. Now, how much time it will take? It could be different. Like this point could be different for some, for everyone. It could be one day, which is very rare. It could be one lifetime. It could be 10 lifetimes. It could be, it a lot depends on how seriously we take the process. Is it making sense or too mathematical? I mean, it's...
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Ritu Mataji, can you speak a little close to the microphone, please?
Sure. I'm saying that yes, it is making a clarity, better clarity. Hello, am I
Yes,
audible?
I can hear you now. Yes.
I'm saying that this graph which you have shown, this is giving a better clarity to the question that I was asking, and I'm getting your point that switching on and switching off is not the option. In fact, I can understand understanding the concept is also itself a difficult thing.
That's why we need scriptures. That's why we need teachers. Okay. So yeah, so it is a gradual process in short, and we must keep, it doesn't matter where we are. What matters is where we are going, where we are heading. So today only I got a quote from, I shared a quote, and I'll share that with everyone, and maybe someone can read it. Can someone read it? Yes, Shilpa Mataji, you want to try?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Dhanvat Pranam devotees. With every obeisance that one is offering to Krishna, one is making progress with every name of Krishna that one is chanting, one is making progress. With every grain or morsel of Krishna prasad that one is partaking, one is making progress. With every darshan of the Lord's deity that one is taking, one is making progress. And with every act of service that one is doing, one is making progress. And since devotees are doing this every single day, they are making progress. Haribol.
Very well. And very nice. Isn't it powerful?
Prabhuji.
And we can keep adding to this. With every verse of Gita or Bhagavat you are reading and making progress. With every book you're distributing or every person you're talking to about Krishna consciousness. So this is, you know, we are making progress. We are adding to our spiritual content, our spiritual consciousness, and gradually it is deepening. Those impressions are deepening, and the bad impressions are going downhill, right? Because time is limited. Either we are spending this time to read Gita, Bhagavat, or we are spending to read about movies and cartoons or whatnot, right? So choice is again ours. Any more thoughts before we move to the next one? Philip Prabhu liked this graph, I guess. So I guess everyone liked that graph, and okay, so let's read the next verse. Okay, text number 20. Yes, Sudhir Prabhu, you want to read? Okay. Shilpa Mataji, are you in a position?
Yes, Prabhuji, I'll try. Thank you, Prabhuji. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10.20. 20.20. Megha-gamotsava hrashta pratyanandan chikandinaha greshu tapta nirvina Yathachyuta Janaghame. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and his disciples. Prabhupada ki jai, his disciples. Prabhupada disciples ki jai. The peacocks became festive and cried out a joyful greeting with. One second. The peacocks became festive and cried out a joyful greeting when they say to the cloud, when they say the clouds arrive. Just as people distressed in household life feel pleasure when the pure devotees of the infallible Supreme Lord visit them. Purport: after the dry summer season, the peacocks became jubilant with the arrival of the first thundering rain clouds, and thus they dance in great happiness. Srila Prabhupada comments, when we have practical experience of this. Many of our students were dry and morose previous to their coming to Krishna consciousness, but having come into contact with devotees, they are now dancing with jubilant peacocks, like jubilant peacocks. Haribol Prabhuji. That's very true, Prabhuji. I mean, Srila Prabhupada obviously is our Jagat Guru. So whatever he says, it definitely proves, and we are examples of it with your association and the devotees of our Tampa. You can see that. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhuji, please correct.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So the peacock is compared to, people, normal people who are distressed in household life. Applies to almost everyone. And the clouds, the rain clouds, the fresh clouds are compared to pure souls, sadhus, Vaishnavas. When they come, the householders are, Kali Yuga is prevailing so fast. And I don't know how much of that is really how many people are joyful to see sadhus these days. I'm not talking about devotees, practicing devotee. I'm not talking about them. They're very happy if devotees come at their home. They're very happy if Vaishnavas come at their home, senior devotees, Vaishnavas, sadhus, sannyasis come, they invite them, they welcome them, they greet them, they serve them to the best they can, and they should, and that is their secret of them coming out of the deep dark well of householder life, of the challenges, of the difficulties. But unfortunately, the vulture, or it's the opposite of culture. There is no culture left. There's only the vulture of degradation. People are very happy if the Domino's Pizza Hut guy appears on the door, right? Oh, my father maybe ordered a Domino's pizza for me, or some nice gift, Amazon delivery, and guy comes. Maybe the kids would be very happy. If the sadhus come, trespassers prosecuted. Beware of dogs. They won't even allow for them to come inside. Again, I'm not referring to pious people, but the piety in Kali Yuga is very less. Earlier, the masses were like that. Although they may whatever good or bad habits they may have, but they were genuinely happy if sadhus would come at their house. But in this day and age, it is very, very little of that is left. There would be some people, some pious people, but honestly, what would be that percentage of those people, right? Maybe less than 5%, correct? Rest 95% will not be so joyful, so happy. Rather, they will call the police, hey, some strange people have come at our home, please, right? If they come uninvitedly. Am I right? Especially in this country, right? But let's look at the lesson here. The lesson is we should be always very welcoming to the sadhus, caring, do our best to serve them, to greet them, because whenever they don't come for themselves. They don't come to beg for money. They don't come because they need food. They don't come because they need accommodation for a night or something. They come to help us, to uplift our consciousness. This is the motive. When Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami would go to different places in Vrindavan, the people were so happy to receive them. They would cry in tears when they would come, the tears of joy. And then they would cry in tears of separation when they were about to leave. So this is bhakti. So we share a picture also of this particular text, so we can also see these beautiful Oriental art paintings as well. So this is the picture of the peacock who is very happy, joyful, and beautiful. So in the company of Vaishnava, we become happy, we become joyful. They uplift us. They remove the ignorance from our lives, right? Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Koi, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva. Therefore, the power of association is so powerful. When they come, naturally we're getting their association. They're giving their association. They're giving Krishna Katha. They are uplifting us of all the impurities. So one must take it the full advantage of whenever such opportunities arise in one's life, and one must be very, very joyful. The saints and the sages, however, take all the risks to propagate the, Krishna consciousness. Many sages risk their lives to propagate the message of God, like Haridas Thakur, Lord Nityaṁ Prabhu, Jesus Christ, etc. They do not take vows of silence meant to win cheap glory from the ignorant mass of people. They are risking their lives, the great sadhus. I mean, traveling is traveling easy. Like all these, senior Vaishnavas come. They are few days here, few days here. It may sound very nice and fantasy to someone who has not experienced that. But if someone is experiencing that, 2 days in Atlanta, then 2 days in Tampa, then go to Alachua, then 5 days in New York, then 4 days again in Washington, then go to Vancouver, spend a week, then go to Toronto. Would anyone like that? It may sound very nice. Oh, everything is taken care, the prasadam will be served, the accommodation is ready, everything. It is not easy. It is very difficult. Someone who has not experienced that, it may sound very easy and joyful, but it is not. It is very difficult. Prabhupada traveled the world 12 times at the age of 70 years. Think about risking his life for the benefit of the masses. All the sannyasis, most of them, they travel throughout the world in different countries, different continents. Very hard. But they are giving their association. We must take full advantage of that. It is the duty of the saints and the sages to enlighten the fallen souls, and reciprocally. Wow. So their duty is to enlighten. And what is the duty of the householder? To receive the saints and the sages cordially, as the peacock dances in ecstasy at the presence of the clouds in the sky. Right. So it is both. We have to understand what is our duty as well when sadhus come. So I was reading some comments. I'll read Prabhuji's comments, Philip Prabhu's comments. Thankful to the bask in radiance of Krishna consciousness, conscious devotees. Like the sun is infinite, resplendence dancing upon the plumage of the such joyful peacocks in ecstatic devotional service. Staggeringly and transcendently inspiring and beautiful. Yes, so, and we see that, also when Prabhupada would sometimes come at the airport. Have you seen some videos like that? Prabhupada's arrival, devotees would be like dancing and jumping in the air, and so like Mridanga, Kirtan, like earlier before this Twin Tower thing, they could go to the airport all the way. Everyone could go to the airport inside, like just where where we are at the gate before the boarding. So everyone could get to that point. Imagine. No ticket, no nothing required, no much security checks and stuff. So if like some Prabhupada is coming, 50 devotees would be at that boarding area where the boarding gate. And they would be chanting, dancing joyfully, and then they'll all come gradually together like a parade back, exit the airport. That's like the Chataka bird. His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj gives this example. They're eagerly waiting. When will sadhus come at my home? When will I get? I'm suffering in this household life. When will sadhus come? And if we have that desire, guess what? Krishna will reciprocate. Krishna will reciprocate according to the desires we have. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Any other thoughts, comments anyone has? Okay, let's read the next verse, which is text number 21. Yes, Sudhir Prabhu, want to read?
Yeah, sure. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandat Pranam, Prabhupada Śrī Prabhupada, text number 21. Pitva padapa padhe asananatma murtaya sama tapasa sramta yata kamanusevaya. Translation perfect by disciples of His Divine Grace, the Priyaram from Śrī Prabhupada ki jai. The trees had grown thin and dry, but after they drank the newly fallen rain water through their feet, their various bodily features blossomed. Similarly, one whose body has grown thin and weak from austerity again exhibits his healthy bodily features upon enjoying the material objects gained through that austerity. The word pada means foot and pa means drinking. Trees are called padapa because they drink through their roots, which are linked to feet. Upon drinking the newly fallen rainwater, the trees in Vrindavana began to manifest new leaves, sprouts, blossoms, and they thus enjoyed the new growth. Similarly, materialistic persons often perform service austerities to acquire the object of their desire. For example, politicians in America undergo grilling austerities while traveling about the countryside, campaigns for elections. Businessmen also will often deny personal comfort to make their business successful. Such austere persons, upon acquiring the fruits of their austerity, again became healthy and satisfied. Like trees eagerly drinking rainwater after enduring the austerity of dry, hot summer. There you go. Very nice analogy, Prabhuji. What I understood, how the trees, drink with their roots compared to us like feet, and they rejuvenated themselves. So here, Prabhupada and the disciples have nicely compared how even in materialistic life, the business people, even the politicians, they do so much austerity, for the material, materially, developing. Of course, even the devotees do the austerity, but for this, service, seva. And one thing I remember, Pibare Ramarasam, there is a wonderful, bhajan, Ram. So where, you drink the nectar of the name of the Lord Rama. So Pibare. So I, kind of thought that these are correct me, Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Scriptures are so poetic. Pitvapa, padapa, padhir, padher, pa. Right? So pada means feet and pa means to drink. Pan, like jal pan, right? Padapa is synonymous to trees here. So Prabhupada is writing, like in the summer months, many plants and trees, they're almost dead. Their leaves, they shed their leaves, and they are quite in a very unhealthy state, you can say. Right? Their trunks have shrunk because of austerity. What is austerity? They didn't get water because there is no water, and it's like forced austerity. They cannot drink water because there is no water in the ground. So the title for this verse is Perpetual Cycle of Creation and Dissolution. Right? So things manifest, things unmanifest with the changing of the season. Right? They are lush and green back in the rainy season because they get, and then again back, they are starving. So material austerity, a lot of people do, Mr. Lord. Prabhupada is giving example of here the politicians, even Hiranyakashipu. He did so much austerities, is it not? Right? Ravana did so much austerities that his body was practically like eaten up by if in the Hiranyakashipu story, in this 7th canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, it comes that his body was covered with ant hill. That means only bones were left. It's too much austerity, is it not? But he got what he wanted, or kind of, Brahma's benediction, and he was restored back to good health and very lot of powers as well. But devotees and materialistic people, like big CEOs and big, one day they are in Singapore, then in Switzerland, they have a company here, an office there, then they are going to New York, then they travel a lot, right? At least some of them, I'm not sure about. The higher the position, the more decision-making powers they have, and the more they might have to travel also, especially it's like a multi-country, business. And then they have a lot of travels and then a lot of maybe private jets. So what? But they keep traveling. And then it is austerity, right? But what is that purpose of the austerity? Sense enjoyment. Sense enjoyment. That's the purpose. So austerity meant for material purpose is not real austerity. Austerity aligned with scriptural injunctions is real austerity, because that will give us the real benefit, eternal benefit. The austerity for one's sense gratification will only kind of increase our desires and increase our passions towards that object of senses. So in short, we must do all desires should be reformed and directed towards spiritual activities. Otherwise, those same desires will repeatedly manifest themselves in different varieties of material enjoyment, and thus the condition of living being perpetually in material bondage. So we'll keep coming back and forth. One time healthy, one time unhealthy, sometimes born in a kingdom, in a king's child, sometimes born in a beggar's, family. Those things will keep changing, sometimes as an insect, sometimes as a bird, sometimes as a water animal, sometimes as different things. But if we have to get out of this trap, people say, oh, getting out of the rat race in corporate world. But we really have to get out of this repeated birth and death cycle. That is the real thing. Getting out of rat race is again a very short term. Next time we'll again become a new rat and keep running the race. Right? So, Hare Kṛṣṇa. Let's see. I attended gym religiously in material austerities for exercise rewards and healthy body and mind. Chant Mahamantra religiously, Sankirtana Yagya, rewards with liberation and bhakti in Krishna consciousness. Did I understand correct, Prabhuji? Yes, that is kind of correct. I'll just add a few more flavors to it. See, a lot of people go to gym. Devotees also go, non-devotees also go. I'm talking just a general statement. Gym means taking care of the body, let's say, whether it's through yoga, whether it's through dance, whether it's through, in Iskcon, there's so much of dancing, whether it's through some other exercises, whether it's through swimming or cycling. I'm not talking about the details, but let's say taking care of the body through some form of exercise. Many people do that. But bhakti is an art of consciousness. Bhakti is all about consciousness. Many people go to gym so that they can have a better body, so that they can attract better opposite sex, so that they can enjoy more in their material pursuits. That's majority. But a devotee, the consciousness is that yes, I have to take care of the body because the body is like a vehicle for self-realization. The body is an instrument to engage in service. The body is an instrument to take care of other devotees, serve other devotees. The body is an instrument to take care of my family who are also devotees. The body is an instrument so I can read, hear, go to yatras, chant and dance in the holy names, etc., etc. And that is why I must take care of my body so that I can perform better services. If that is our consciousness, then the act of going to gym or yoga or any other form of exercise also becomes spiritual. It is no more a material act. This is Krishna consciousness, the art of transforming our intention, our consciousness. So the same activity, same with job, same applies to going to the job, same applies to every aspect, most aspects. Cooking, right? Cooking is also like devotees also do, non-devotees also do. But someone could be making some mode of ignorance food. Oh, I will eat some, I don't want to name even here, like non-veg food products because I really like that. It titillates my tongue and my family loves that. I really, and they're having a very so-called pleasurable time cooking and offering to their senses. And the extended senses in the form of family. And they derive some little joy there. But the devotee also cooks. Oh, this kitchen is like the temple. And these tools are like mediums to serve Sri Radha and Krishna. I'm cooking for their pleasure. I'm cooking the ingredients, the things which they like. And then I will offer to them. Then I will honor that Mahaprasad. So the consciousness is basically, bhakti means Krishna consciousness. The art of transforming our consciousness. Hare Kṛṣṇa. Is it okay? Any additions, any comments, thoughts? Okay, so we can, let's see. We'll read one last verse, text 22 for today. Anyone wants to read? Ritu Mataji, are you in a position to read? Okay. I'll just quickly read this.
Not,
Sorry.
no, not right now. Not in this position.
No worries.
I'm
no
sorry.
worries.
I'm hearing.
That's absolutely
I
fine.
will be listening more actually.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I'll read it for you. You'll get the credit of reading this verse, since you had the desire to read, but you couldn't read because of situations. All credit of reading this verse to you and your family. Sarashva ashanta rodhashu nyushur angapi sarash sasha griheshva ashanta kriyeshu gramya eva durashayaha. Translation. The cranes continued dwelling on the shores of the lakes, although the shores were agitated during the rainy season, just as materialistic persons with contaminated minds remain at home. Despite the many disturbances there purport, during the rainy season there are often mudslides around the shores of the lakes, and thorny bushes, stones, and other debris sometimes accumulate there. Despite all these inconveniences, ducks and cranes continue meandering around the lake's shores. Similarly, innumerable painful occurrences are always disturbing family life, but a materialistic man never even considers leaving his family in the hands of his grown sons and going away for spiritual improvement. He regards such an idea as shocking and uncivilized because he is completely ignorant of the absolute truth and his relationship of that truth. Om Tat Sat. Hare Kṛṣṇa. So, in this particular text, harsh truth is given of this material world. There's a picture for this. The crane standing on the edge of the pond is always disturbed by the flowing water, mud, stones, etc., but still does not take the step to get out of there, right? So it's compared to attached householder, a material griha medhi and grihastha ashram. So griha medhi means intelligence. One whose intelligence is always in house, right? Attached to house. This is my home, my property, etc. My family, etc. Even though there are difficulties, even though there are challenges, when we get a problem, the intelligent person tries to figure out the solution of the problem. That I want happiness, I do not want misery, why I'm still getting it? An intelligent person will reflect upon that, will try to come up with some, or approach the sadhus, invite the sadhus, but rather, no. Hum nahi sudhrenge, right? We shall never change. Prabhupada said, chant. Some people, can't. They'll chant, can't, but they'll not chant Hare Kṛṣṇa. So that is the very unfortunate situation, and it is seen in this world a lot. So they get so much, material life, so much difficulties are there. And even at the age of, let's say, 60 years, Prabhupada is writing here that the children are grown up. Okay, settle ho gaye, then they are married. You know that story of Kailash. We have done a drama on this. I'll narrate again quickly. That Narad Muni comes to take this, Kailash. Kailash is a nice devotee who's praying in his mother's womb. Have you heard this story? There's a nice drama we'll share with you. We all did this drama a few years back. So, anyways, I'll share this story. So Kailash is a boy, who's in the womb of the mother, and first in the womb, as we know, the child says, Krishna, I want to be with you. I want to, please take me. Right? The child is praying, as the Bhagavatam explains. But and the child is promising to Narad Muni, please take me. I'm not, want to be here. And Narad Muni says, okay, I'll come soon and take you. And the child is born. Kailash, he comes after when the child is 3-4 years old. And Narad Muni says, okay, Kailash, let's go. And the child says, well, I'm busy. I'm doing, A, B, C, D. And I have teachers, I have to go to school. Then I'll come later, right? Then he comes after again when the child is in the mid-school and they're busy in homeworks, busy in playing cricket or baseball or basketball, busy and then he gets to the college, busy in Facebook and Instagram and whatnot. And then he is busy in job and finding a partner. And then he gets married and is busy in taking care of his children and busy in paying the mortgage and busy in paying the bills. And then he gets his kids married and then he is busy taking care of the grandkids and going from one hospital to the other hospital. And then he said, Narad Muni is coming, right? All these instances, Narad Muni coming every few years to check on him, to ask him. He said, no, I'm busy, I'll come later. He's postponing, procrastinating. And finally he's dead. Narad Muni comes. Where is Kailash? Where is Kailash? Kailash has become a dog because he was attached to the property. And dogs take care of the property. So he's become a dog now in the same house, right? And he's still attached. Now I'm saying, okay, you come now, right? You come now, we'll take you. He said, no, who will take care of the house? Sometimes these people, my children are so foolish, they leave the doors unlocked. What if thieves come? I have to take care of it. Then finally, he becomes a snake in the same house. And finally, long story short, his own children kill him, right? Because then they see a snake in the courtyard or a snake in the backyard, and then they destroy him. And then he realizes, oh my God, I'm suffering. I'm so much suffering. Still, I'm not taking, like sadhus are coming, I'm still not taking the message. This is material attachment. This is the dense covering of material consciousness. And Bhagavatam, Gita, chanting is the only means to remove that covering. So in short, we must not be like those cranes. We must try to figure out. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Human life is meant to inquire, right? Have this inquiry. Humans are inquisitive. Humans have higher intelligence. Why are good things happening to bad people? Who is God? What is real happiness? Is the real happiness to have a family, kids, job, and then the end? Or there is something more? Animals also have family. Birds have, offsprings. A dog has offspring. They also have some kind of home. They also have some kind of food. What is the difference? Am I also meant to live and die like that? Humans question. Intelligent people question. And then, tad vijnanartham sagurum eva vikachit. Then they approach the bona fide spiritual master and get the real solutions to the real questions of life. Hare Kṛṣṇa. Any other comments? Any thoughts, additions?
Hare Kṛṣṇa Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. We come across similar example for devotees, right, Prabhuji? In spite of how many obstacles come in, devotees tend to, though they suffer, they try to help the other devotees. Right, Prabhuji. So in a devotee point of view, just thinking the same text, how can it be applied for a devotee?
How can it be applied for a devotee? It's a great thought. First of all, they take the steps to be part of the, they do not procrastinate, number one. They try to understand, okay, already a lot of time has passed. I have already, a lot of rainy season have been passed and I've already been here. Now let me not wait anymore. I'll share one story of a frog. You know, there was a pot and there were flames, fires underneath the pot, right? It's in some kind of burner, right? And then there is a frog in this, just consider this as a frog, okay? Excuse me for my drawing, but consider this as a frog, okay? There is water in this, okay? There is water. What's happening? The water is heating because there is boiling. It's gradually, the temperature is increasing. Earlier, it's normal. The temperature is slowly increasing, right? But the frog tends to adjust. The frog can easily, jump out of this water. The frog can easily jump out of this water. It can easily get out. But the frog procrastinates. No, I can adjust. I can manage. It's fine. It's bearable. I mean, happiness, distress is there. I can tolerate it. So he tries to expand his body and tries to adjust, to the surroundings. Temperature keeps increasing. It's boiling. Bubbles start to come slowly. He's adjusting. And then what's happening? The lifespan is getting down. His capacity to adjust is also getting down. And finally, there's a point which comes that the heat is so high, and then his energy is drained, he has wasted precious life, and finally the frog is dead. The end. Gajendra was also trying to adjust to the crocodile. He adjusted for 1 month. He said, oh no, I can overcome, I can win, I think I can handle this. But he was fortunate that before the last time, he completely, and of course he did bhakti in the previous life also. So he called out to Lord Vishnu. The king of elephants called out the Gajendra Stuti, and again in Bhagavatam. So in short, materialistic people try to, suffering is there for everyone. It's not that because the heat of this world is torturing everyone, right? No one can say there was not a death in their family. No one can say they had no disease in their family. No one can say they will never get a disease. No one can say they will not die. This is common for all, right? Whether we are a billionaire or a pauper, whether we are PhD or we don't even know ABC, right? So first of all, the earlier we can jump out means take to Krishna consciousness. We don't have to jump out, doesn't mean that we'll go immediately. The point is the sooner the better. Whatever our age is, 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever is, already we have adjusted a lot. Already we have tried, nothing has worked, only Krishna consciousness will work out. Try for oneself. Try, experience the joy, experience the beauty of bhakti. So that's the first step, to help oneself, to take to the process of bhakti. And then, then share with others to the best we can. That's what devotees try, to take oneself, do not procrastinate, and also share with others to the best we can. And not let till the last minute Some people wait till the last minute. Oh, I'll chant when I'm 70 years old, right? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Because as we discussed in that, again, in the other chart, even from this graph, we can understand that the more time we spend in bhakti, the stronger, the more Krishna consciousness we will be. Let's say if we start, if the starting point is 70 years, we may only get to 10% of Krishna consciousness, which is not bad, but why to the next birth will start from 10%? But why to waste it? Why not be fully Krishna conscious in this lifetime itself? Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. But from this text, crane example, so crane has to move. If crane is a devotee, then he should be able to first move rather than staying there and then enjoy that small water from the picture, right, Prabhuji? Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes. That's the translation here. Materialistic people with condemned mind remain at home. Home means their comfort zone. No, this is me. Only my dead body will leave from here. I will not move. But what is Vrindavan? Now connecting it to, if something is not safe for our bhakti, you remember we discussed that? We should leave that situation. If it is not conducive for bhakti, the Vrajavasis realize, oh, there are a lot of dangers coming to Krishna. We will leave this place. Move. Again, Vraj means also to move. Moving in alignment with God's plans. Right? If a job is not conducive for my bhakti, I should not be hell-bent. Oh, no, I will never change. If a friendship is not conducive for my bhakti, okay, I may be very good friends with him or her in school, but if that's taking me to the wrong direction, I have to change. Hare Krishna. Okay, it's already a little over time, so won't bother you more, but very, very grateful for your association, for your blessings and reading together. Grantha Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya cha, Dana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.